All right. All right. Go ahead, clap it up. Start off saying Shalom Israel with Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. Priest and Officer 5000 Kasapa Kyle. This is the Thursday night scripture breakdown for ISUBK Northern California. Well, before we start off, are there any questions in the room? Questions online? You got a question?
I did actually.
Go ahead.
I was confused on why Moses was able to marry Sarai if she wasn't an Israelite, or I'm not sure if she was an Israelite or if her father Jethro was an Israelite either. So I was kind of confused on that.
Now you said Moses
Yes,
or Abraham?
Moses.
Okay, Moses. I don't think her name was Sarai.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's get the numbers. I think it's the 12th chapter, Numbers in 12. Let's see.
Miriam,
yeah. She was the Ethiopian woman. She had a problem with Moses, right? I mean, it was his sister. Moses' sister had a problem, and they spoke against Moses because of his Ethiopian woman.
So was that his first wife?
Correct. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead. Numbers chapter 12, verse 1.
Book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of an Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman.
Right.
And they said,
go ahead.
And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it.
Right. So they were questioning Moses because he had a heathen wife, right? And Moses brought the law, statutes, and commandments that tell you in Deuteronomy in the 7th chapter, you cannot marry heathen women. But Moses did not have the laws when he married this heathen woman. So just a quick, direct answer would be, he didn't have the law, statutes, and commandments, so he was in the world. And so this is why we teach in ISUPK, if you are married to a heathen woman before you come into the truth, you cannot leave her or divorce her once you come into the truth. Some other fake Israelites will teach that you can leave that woman and you can put her away. But this is what we go to show that you're not supposed to do this. So let's go. Let's drop down to. Let's keep reading. We're going to go through this real quickly.
The book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 4. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam. Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. Verse 5. And the Lord came down in a pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
Right.
And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream.
Right. So the Lord is saying, if there's going to be a prophet of the children of Israel, the Lord will come to him in a vision or a dream. This is how he talks to the prophets of the Lord And this is how the different men that got their visions, like Daniel, Ezekiel, all these different things that happened, this is how they got their visions. Keep going. And their prophecies.
My servant Moses is not so.
He is what?
Is not so.
He's not like the other prophets. Moses is not like them. Keep going.
Who is faithful in all mine house?
Right. He is one of the most faithful men. This is how Moses was. Keep going.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth.
Right. So he's not going to deal with Moses like the other prophets. He talked to Moses mouth to mouth. This will show you how important Moses was and how much love the Lord had for Moses, right? Keep going.
Even apparently, and not in dark speeches.
Right. Not some symbolic type, there's going to be 4 red horses in the sky. There's going to be 2 white doves and all. He told Moses directly, I am the Lord your God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You know what I'm saying? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit murder. He talked to him directly. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And the similitude of the Lord shall keep a hold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
One more time. Wherefore?
Verse 8.
No, start from wherefore.
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
He is saying what to them right now?
He's saying, why aren't you afraid to speak, or why are you able to speak to him in this way when he's so great? Like how is it that you're able to come to him and say these things to him? Is that what's being said right here?
Read it one more time.
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
One more time, break it down. Right? No, break it down. What is it saying?
Is he asking them why they're not afraid to say those things to him?
Yeah.
Why they even get it? So
Damn
why
right.
aren't they afraid to say that? They
Right.
shouldn't be.
Right. You want to add something on your ride?
I think he pretty much hit it on the head with all of them.
You want to put it just plain in sight, like how we will talk today. He's like, nigga, how dare you open your mouth against my nigga?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What made you think you could talk about my prophet Moses? Are you stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like, he G-checking them, like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? You gonna question Moses because he got this damn heathen wife when I didn't have this nigga split the Red Sea? I didn't have him get the whole law. I talked to him face to face. Y'all was scared to even hear my voice once I started talking. They said, we don't even want to hear anymore after they heard the Lord speak. They said, just deal with Moses. You know what I'm saying? But now they trying to find some reason to take away from his position. And it's a similar situation we read last week. So it was the other people that tried to come up against him. Now his own brother and sister is questioning him. You know what I mean? Like, they're wondering why, he's doing this. And like I said, I've been in battles with fake Israelites where they try to say that ISUPK is wrong for teaching that. That if a brother has a heathen wife, he should put her away, right? Let's see. Let's keep going. I'm going to break it down. We can keep going.
Verse 9. The book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Right, keep going.
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly.
We have done what?
Where we have done foolishly.
Keep going.
And wherein we have sinned.
So what did they do that was the sin?
Judging Moses.
Questioning Moses, right? In his position, right? And it was dealing with this heathen woman. So now we know that it was okay what Moses had done, right? Because of how he dealt with them. You know what I mean? They got scared. They didn't want to get put to death. But all right, now I'm going to explain it for the UPK. When the cat was trying to say that we were evil and wicked for telling brothers that, 2 things you could say to him. For one, the sin is already done. What you did in the world is done. You can't go back and change that sin. But just because you sinned in the world doesn't mean this is not your wife anymore, because you've come to the knowledge of the truth. And that shows how important sex is, and sex being marriage, and that it's something you can't just get rid of for no reason, right? think about somebody that has a tattoo. We all know that getting tattoos is unlawful, correct? But there are brothers and sisters in the truth that have tattoos, right? So what are they supposed to do when they come into the truth? They're supposed to cut it off. They're supposed to go get tattoo removal. You understand what I'm saying? Because they did something wrong before? No, just don't get any more tattoos. Don't continue doing that sin. Don't go get another heathen wife. Now then you would have something to say. And the last thing that I cut them caps on was I told them, all right, they didn't like this one right here. Sometimes you have to show people through questions and put them on the defense to defend what they're saying. I said, now what if you have a sister that comes into the truth? What if you got a sister that comes into the truth, but you got a heathen husband? Are you going to tell her she's no longer married to him? Are you going to tell her she needs to leave him? And then who is going to be the brother that's going to want to marry her? Is that not his wife? You see what I'm saying? Like, so either way, they're going to have to say, well, yeah, she can't leave him. She should leave him. All right, so you want to go after this heathen man. Then done all types of heathen things to this sister, and you want to rip her up? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? That's his wife. You can't just take her away from him and make her your wife. You know what I mean? So they didn't have no answer. It was two of them that was trying to battle me, but then they was divided on the answer. So they agreed when I said you should put away the white woman, but they couldn't agree when I said, okay, you should get rid of the white man. Because they're like, well, one of them was like, yeah, I kind of don't want that sister either. So who was going to marry? You see what I'm saying? The other one was like, she a born again. She a new woman. Like, come on, man. Y'all are making up things. Y'all don't know the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Y'all are the same people that would have questioned Moses like this. The Lord would have dealt with him. Go ahead. It's like, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so what if she had kids with the heathen, man? Was she supposed to give the kids up for adoption or something?
Right. Right.
That don't make no sense.
Exactly. Yep. I think I asked him the same thing too. Same thing. Like if you got kids with the heathen woman or with the heathen man, either or. Well, nah, with the brother would still be your kids, technically, but they were still divided on that too. They were still saying to damn near put the kids away. So it didn't make no sense, you know what I mean? Them brothers don't have the spirit, they don't have the truth. You know, and that's how you know ICBK is the home of the truth.
That's right.
Things like this, like, all right. But that's pretty much that. If there's any more questions, we can go with those. If not, we'll continue into the class.
I have one more question.
Go ahead, please.
On top of that, so was his wife already following the Lord, or was Jethro following the Lord before Moses went out back into Egypt?
La. He was I think he was he a Midianite? La, he was not following the Lord. He wasn't from the line of the children of Israel. The promise wasn't given to him or his family. So yeah, I forgot what he was. He wasn't a Midianite because it said she was Ethiopian. Later on in the precepts, I forget exactly, can't really remember, but they did deal with him and his family, and he did, have some type of honor and respect because we were dealing with that family and recognizing them. But were they following the Most High? Law? They were following their own gods. Do you have a specific precept that made you
I can't remember the exact verse, but it was where his father-in-law came to us and let him know that he should write everything down.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was wondering, like, so if he's telling him to write everything, I just in my mind for some reason I just thought, so was he following the Lord like before Moses,
right,
or did he start following him after Moses came back with his people?
I see what you're saying. No, I think he was just a righteous brother. We can go into that further. I have to find the precepts that you're talking about. But he was just a righteous heathen, or to say that to that extent, honorable, I would say. And there's been instances where the Lord has talked to heathens before. You understand what I'm saying? I forget who am I talking about? His name is not Baalim, Balak. He was a prophet over some heathens, and they came and tried to curse the children of Israel, and the Lord came and spoke to him through a donkey. You understand what I'm saying? He told him this thing, and he dealt with him, but he wasn't a prophet. He wasn't, of the chosen people, anything like that. So All right, but if you could find that precept, I'll look for it too as well. At another time, we can talk about that more.
I'll get that. I'll look for it.
All right, no sweat. All right, tonight's topic. Let's go ahead and clap it up one more time. The title of tonight's class is Good Girls Love Bad Guys. I got this from last week. I was telling y'all before this is going to be the class this week. There was some sister online. She's a blackity black conscious community sister. And she was basically saying she has some brothers and her brothers are good guys, but they can't get any women. So much to the point they're getting up in age, closer to 30, and they still haven't dealt with a woman, so a family tried to buy prostitutes for them or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Just so they can deal with a woman, you know what I mean? And she was saying she was in tears because she knows her brothers are some good men, but women don't want guys like that. And so she's trying to check the females and saying, why are y'all always looking for these thugs, drug dealers, rappers, the sports players, things like that are quote unquote the bad guys, and you're ignoring these good men. And so she has a valid point in some way. The thing that's valid, what she's saying is that these men that are out here selling drugs and doing these type of things, they're abusive, going in and out of prison, all that type of things. Those men will use the sisters, abuse the sisters, you know what I'm saying, abandon them, leave them, put them away in a lot of ways. And that's because the woman has demons and those men are not trying to stop those demons, they're encouraging them. So that's how they're meeting up on that level. But the way I'm teaching this class tonight is to show her that she doesn't have the truth. She doesn't understand women. She doesn't understand men. You have to have the Bible. You have to have the truth to really understand what's going on from a psychological level, from a spiritual level. So why am I saying that the sister is wrong? What are some attributes of masculinity?
Strength.
Raise your hand.
Lucky.
Go ahead.
Strength.
Strength. Got any more?
Stoicism.
You don't got to raise it again. Once you know what I mean.
Stoicism. Power.
Right.
Responsibility.
Okay. I like all those. Tasabah, you got something?
Confidence.
What's that?
Confidence.
Damn right. Yep. Go ahead. Got any more? All right. So I ask you, Rod, you got any? What do you think is masculine? What is masculinity to you, sis?
Maybe speaking for her brothers instead of speaking for yourself, like taking that role.
Right. Like a form of a leader, right?
Right.
All right. Jackie, you got anything?
I don't even.
The question is saying, like, what do you think is masculine? What is masculine? Something that describes somebody as masculine.
Someone who's a protector,
Okay.
somebody who's
There you go. All right, so we seeing a lot of the same things. I got somebody that's brave. You can't be a coward and be a man. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's scared of everything, scared to risk their life to protect their family. That's out. You know what I mean? So matter of fact, what is the definition of a coward? We'll look at it. You got it on you? Can you get on your phone out? What is a coward real quickly? Because we in ISBK, we say it's no cowards, no excuses. All right. Somebody that has principles, morals. Like you have to be a man of the Lord to have principles and morals and things that you will do, things that you won't do. Go ahead.
The definition for a coward: a person who lacks the courage to do or endure dangerous or unpleasant things.
Right. So now I'm saying sisters in the world are attracted to brothers that are considered bad guys because they feel like this is them being masculine, because a brother that's in a gang doesn't appear to be a coward. You know, he'll go out and do a crime, or he'll deal with going to jail, to prison, He'll get into shootouts, things like this. He's not fearful. So women are looking for someone to be strong and to protect them from the real monsters in the world. You see what I'm saying? So they're like, okay, I can get with him. He's going to be cool with me, and he's going to protect me. I can change him certain things that I don't like, but I'd rather be with him than somebody that I'm not feeling protected around, right? But the thing is that women are not being raised with positive males in their life. So the only examples they're seeing are men that have these attributes in one instance, but in the other side, they are doing things that are wrong. She want to get a man that can beat somebody else's ass, but he also beat her ass too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool. You know what I mean? So in the ISUPK, in the truth, you know what I mean? Since the Bible days, we had a different culture, all right? And so the culture of our oppressor has taken away the position of men being leaders, right? And one of the things that they have changed is originally in our culture, men would become soldiers. The majority of brothers would join the military, learn how to fight, learn how to go to war, learn and be willing to put their life on the line for their people and their nation. But in America, General Muhammad was saying there's only two options to be a soldier. You can either go join your oppressor's army, military, police force, and further oppress your people, do the things that he says to help fight against other nations, get molested in the military and the army. They try to feminize you, even though they want you to be strong for their nation. They want to break you so you do everything that they say. You see what I'm saying? Disrespect you. The other option is to join the streets. That's where you can go be a soldier. So the sister is dealing with her brothers who have not been allowed to become warriors or soldiers. And that's where the truth is so important, because it's the third option that's not available to men in this place. And so this is the place where a brother doesn't have to give up that character that you have and that strength that you have and that bravery that you have, but you do have to give up the evil and wickedness of the world, right? All right, so let's go to the first precept. Let me get Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 9. Go ahead, we got it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou?
Keep going.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to me, the woman whom thou gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Right. So this is the first step that Adam went wrong. He didn't take accountability, and that was effeminate. You see what I'm saying? That was weak. That is the reason why the Lord wants soldiers in his army, wants soldiers to follow and lead his nation of people, is because you can't have any excuses. No cowards, no excuses. Adam was being a coward right here.
Right.
He wasn't standing up and owning up to his mistake. He was cowering before the Lord. He did the worst thing he could do. He blamed the weaker vessel for his problems. All right, keep going.
Verse 12. And the man said, the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Right,
so she tried to do the same thing. Everybody tried to pass the blame on down to the next person, right? Drop down to verse 16.
Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right.
And he shall rule over thee.
Right. Now, since this situation happened, the Lord put Eve on earth to be Adam's helpmeet, but now since she fumbled the ball like this and got beguiled by Satan, by the devil, the Lord said Adam is going to rule over you. Man is going to rule over his wife, his woman, right? In this place in America, they've tried to reverse that. Every movie, every, thing about this culture is about putting the women over the men. If you go look in the slave days, they had the big mama. It wasn't just like your grandma. They used to have like a woman that would rule over the slaves. She would come through and wake everybody up. Like today, you would liken it to a black female supervisor. You know what I'm saying? Some cats be like, that's the worst thing to deal with, man. Like, why is she like this? Why is she talking to brothers this way? Because she feel like in order for her to show strength, that's her way to do it, is by nagging and being disrespectful. But in reality, men don't respect that. You see what I'm saying? You're really emasculating this brother, trying to. So they use that as a way to put men down. They will put women over them, have them coming through. Y'all get up, y'all sit down, y'all sharpen up, y'all shut the hell up. That was Big Mama the Mammy coming through and running things like that. You know what I mean? But that's not how it was supposed to be. When we get in the kingdom, they're not going to be women that are in the military. They're not going to be women police officers. They're not going to be women that are over men like that in those positions, because that was never our culture. All right. So, and this is why, like I said, going back to the topic, sisters are gravitating to men like this, because these men are dominant. They don't want to listen or follow behind a woman. They know this nigga out here, he done shot 10 niggas. They damn near going to sleep with their knife under their pillow. They don't know if this nigga might wake up and shoot her in the head. They still want to be with the nigga though. They don't know why, but they're attracted to him because they know he's not going to be weak in a certain way, right? But in reality, them brothers is weak too. You know what I mean? And the brothers that may not carry themselves in that manner, the good guys, quote unquote, they need to come into the truth and learn how to become strong as well. But the things that they tell you to do to be good and righteous in the world is to go to the Christian church. Learn how to talk softly. Learn how to worship your woman. Learn how to cater to a woman. That's what they teach is what's right. And it's evil. You see what I'm saying? That's what happened with Adam. He was the first one to drop the ball and cater to his woman and got kicked out of the Garden of Eden. All right. Let's drop that. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11. Go ahead.
Also, what I noticed, just trying to get clarification, it referred to him as Adam.
Right.
Before he actually, got exposed by the Lord. Then it went on from there and just kept calling him that man. Is that a form of showing that he was weak at that time? Because it don't even call him Adam no more. You trip off it, it's like you can start at 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like he said, who told thee that thou was naked?
Right.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereas I commanded thee that thou should not eat? And the man. So
right.
It's like, and I'll just read down. It's just, you know what I mean? This is personal knowledge.
Right.
It's like they're not even referring to him as Adam. That's the name of the Lord here.
No, it does continue. It does pick it back up.
Okay.
But I understand what you're saying. Like you taking it more like you lost your position, so it's kind of like he lowered him down. You don't even want to speak on his name like that.
Not that, but you felt weak. So at that time, he was the man. He was just the man. You know what I mean? Because being in the truth, we know we're a man naturally, but in here you find soldiers, priests here. And for me to go out and do something I know that's not priestly or the priestly, I would be like these brothers who's walking down. I'm just like the average Joe. Oh,
that's what you're saying. I wouldn't necessarily say that though. You know what I mean? But I see where you're going with it. Yeah, no sweat. All right, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. So we're going to show you some attributes of solid women according to the Bible and show you that the Lord didn't want any weak men. in his under his command. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Right.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Right. So it says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over a man. What does it mean to usurp something?
Not to take away.
Regina, go ahead.
To take away, like to take a position from somebody, like someone empowered, like to usurp a king,
Right.
Take the throne.
Correct. Anybody else got something? You're up?
To be put over,
Right.
like just make higher than like you said earlier, shouldn't be put women as police officers.
Right.
They get to be a sort of authority over the man.
Right. Right. Correct. Go ahead.
To enforce
Mm-hmm.
the authority over man.
Right.
To be assertive over man. It's like forcing authority over that man.
Correct. Correct. And I'll just go ahead and get the usurp definition is.
Take election.
Oh yeah, I forgot we got Alexa in here. Take a position of power of or importance illegally or by force. So all y'all brothers were correct. Talks about hitting on the nail, like it's by force. So the Bible is saying a woman, it's not saying a woman can't teach you. If a woman has a doctorate or she is educated in this thing, it's not saying a woman can't tell you this or tell you that. It's not saying a sister can't explain, okay, we should do this investment because I know about this or I read about that. It's not what it's saying. It's talking about things of the Lord. A woman can't come into the UPK and teach a class. She can't come to Hebrew Academy and be an instructor. You see what I'm saying? That's not what's going to happen. So these certain authorities were given to men by the Lord, but you will hear in the Christian church that a woman can be a pastor. A woman can lead the church. She can do all of these things. And this is the situation. These same people will tell you that this is a good man, Pastor so-and-so, when Pastor so-and-so is sleeping with everybody in the entire church, lying, stealing, and doing all the drugs, you know what I mean? So hold one second. So this is why in the UPK, I remember General Muhammad was saying that we will take the cats off the street. We would rather them than the Christians in a lot of ways because they have some type of code, some type of thing they live by. It may be dishonorable in the way that they're sinning and, you know what I mean, doing things that are evil, but they at least have enough honor to say, man, this dude killed my brother, he killed my cousin. I'm about to go and get vengeance for him. That's not what he should do, but that's a righteous spirit because he's trying to protect the people that he loves. That's how we were supposed to be built. It's just not to fight against each other. We were supposed to be like, man, these heathens came and killed. We're about to go and fight and protect our nation. You see what I mean? So let's see. Read verse 13. Oh, I got you. Go ahead.
Nah, but it also says it suffers her not to teach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, that teaching and stuff could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be dangerous, teaching the Bible, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be, you know what I'm saying, consequences in teaching it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, really though, this order from the Lord is mercy from the Lord.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
So, is it also saying that it's like, since it says suffer not, it's saying that if you do allow a woman to teach over you or to usurp authority, you will suffer?
Lie. When it says I suffer in the Bible, like in Matthew in the 19th chapter, it talks about Yahushua said that Moses suffered you to put away your wives. Meaning there are certain things I will deal with even though I don't like it. Like you, my brother, I don't like people that smack they food when they eat. You know what I'm saying? But I'll suffer that because you my brother. Who gives a damn about that? That's something small, that's something petty. You know what I mean? What's something you can say I'll suffer something like this brother, you telling him, hey man, every time you come Make sure you bring your sword. The brother didn't do it this time. Next time he come, he didn't bring his sword again. Come on, man. I'll suffer for that. I'll suffer you for that. I'll deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But still my brother. I ain't gonna get rid of him. He's saying I suffer not. I ain't dealing with that at all. I'll be damn that. I suffer not. I can deal with a lot of things. I can deal with your sisters calling in for counsel. You complaining about your husband doing this. You want to get counsel for that. Your sisters is having what's that called? Gossip and all that. Paul will suffer that. I'll deal with y'all. Y'all still my sisters. I love y'all. But this is not, I'm not dealing with that. We're not having that in this house. You know what I'm saying? You have to go somewhere else. You're not going to be with me and do this. All right? All right. So let's read verse 13.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 13. For Adam was first born, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression.
Right. So Adam wasn't deceived. He just fell weak. But Eve was actually deceived and tricked. And so now this is the issue that we have today, is that the people that are leading this culture are trying to deceive our women. And now I think they even have a new song that's called Girls Are Players Too. Y'all heard that one? It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? The woman is not a player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She is a whore.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, the woman was not built to have more than one rod in her. You know what I mean? That's not the way the Lord constructed and built our people.
Right.
Now, sister can be in the world, come into the truth, and brother's gonna treat you like a virgin. You brand new, brother's gonna talk to you like that, deal with you like that, and that's who you are. You know what I'm saying? But after you have the knowledge of the truth, you cannot go back and do the same things that those people in the world are doing. But these young girls are getting raised up by these rap music. Some sister's gonna destroy her whole life trying to be a player and just be utterly destroyed. And for one thing, what's great about the truth is that brothers are not supposed to be players either.
Right.
Brothers are supposed to be priests.
Right.
You see what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. This line of they are uplifting whores and they uplifting thugs. And both of them, I'm saying both of them. It's a thin line between good and evil, is what I'm gonna say. Like, these brothers are lost and should be made to be good men. Now, can that man have more than one wife? Yes. But is he a player? La. This woman, men and women are opposites. It's the perfect example of opposites attract. Everyone's heard that before. A lot of times you'll see super light-skinned female, her boyfriend black as hell. You see a black, dark brother, his girl is light as hell. Opposites attract, you know what I mean? You'll see a dark-skinned female, her dude is light-skinned. It's something about the opposite. Skinny dudes love big women, you know what I'm saying? It's always been that. Big dudes love small. So it's always that thing. So when they're trying to make us the same, it's really evil. You know what I mean? They're trying to make women players, men players, women like this, men like this. It doesn't work out. You know what I mean? It has to be something different about us. Go ahead, Tazabah. You remember? Salaki. All right. Let's drop that. Matter of fact, let's go to verse 15.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety.
Right. Anybody want to take a shot at that one? Time to say we're going to move real quickly. The women will be saved in childbearing. What does this mean? That raising up a child, even though you are considered the weaker vessel according to the Bible. And ISUBK, man, we say to our sisters, they're not weak women. We don't want weak women. They're just weaker than the men.
Right.
That's what the weaker vessel means. Doesn't mean you have to be some pushover and let somebody treat you any kind of way or anything like that. But you're just not able to do the things that men are able to do, right? And so the woman shall be saved in childbearing because that's one of the most difficult things that a woman can do. a woman becoming a mother, it takes time out of the year just to develop the baby, then to feed the child, then to go, matter of fact, go through the pains of labor. You see what I'm saying? So all those things are teaching a person how to sacrifice, teaching them how to become selfless. And if they maintain in the faith, then they will be able to make up for the things that they have done wrong. You see what I mean? The Lord is using that to show women the path to becoming solid sisters, man. Childbearing is something that's very hard and difficult thing to do, right? And that's the reason why a lot of these sisters that are not wanting to breastfeed their children, wanting to be dropping them off at grandma's house and be in the club all the time. I remember hearing about a young sister that got killed, and like she got like a 7-month-old baby at the house. I'm like, damn, what the hell was she doing at the club?
Right.
You know what I mean? She lost her life trying to kick it with her homegirls, and the baby is sitting at home, you know what I mean, crying. And now they have no mom at all. So that's what a baby's supposed to do, is slow a sister down, you know what I mean? Wake her up to separate her from the other people that's in the world, all right? Let's drop that. Let's go to Ephesians 5:22. And the reason why I'm pulling out these precepts about women is showing that the men in the Bible was hardcore, man. They were not trying to cater to women. Go ahead, sis.
So I remember I shared this with there was a video of some ladies, I believe they were Israelites, but they were teaching the class.
Right.
On women. And so from my understanding is, and I felt like that was wrong, but what I'm getting from the class tonight is that's not right. They shouldn't teach the class.
Right. That's according to the Bible, correct, sis? And the reason why men allow that to happen is because they're weak.
Right.
They don't want to go to war with a woman. They don't want to battle against their wife, and they want to cater to them because they're scared to lose something, whether it's lose her, lose the children, lose the car, lose the house, whatever it is. They're scared to lose these things. But how can you be a soldier for the Lord if you in fear of losing anything? You see what I mean? Like, you got to think about that heathen Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was a millionaire, had $3 million, family had money, but he gave up all of that to go live in a hole in a cave to fight for his people. You see what I'm saying? And that honor that heathen was getting from his people, it was right for them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we should be getting. But we don't get that honor because we're not willing to do anything. Now, being an Israelite, all we have to do is go and teach. We don't got to do no terroristic acts or drop no bombs or none of that. The Lord just wants us to go out and teach our people, raise our people up, and he's going to do everything else. So how can a brother even want to gain the kingdom when you got these heathens willing to give up everything for what they believe in their God? You can't even give up what? Losing some monster, some dragon that wants to leave you because you in the truth. Man, you gotta let her go, man. You gotta let that car go. Some niggas are staying in 10-year relationships with a whore because of a car. Nah, nigga, get me on the bus. Give me on somewhere else, man. I'm good. I walk to class.
Right.
But let's go. Ephesians 5:22.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
As unto who?
As unto the Lord.
Good night. So, once again, we seeing a consistent thing right here, man. He's telling the wives to submit themselves, man. The difference between a brother in the world is he's going to try to force a woman to submit to her husband. You cannot force a woman to submit to you, Aki. That's not gonna work. You can't beat her, punch her, push her in the wall. That's not going to work. A woman has to be wanting to give herself to you, wanting to obey you. Like you hear about this about men that want to stop the woman from being a whore and going out and whoring on them. They got to do this and follow her and do all these things to stop her from doing it. He said, could you imagine if you had a brother in the school that wanted to, that you had to tell him all the time to stop blowing rods? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing you can do to get her to stop doing that. That's what she wants to do. You're going to have to let her go. You know what I mean? That's what she wants to do. So a woman submitting is what she has to want to do. And it's written down in this Bible to show proof that this is what the Lord wants you to do. So you doing this and disrespecting me and being out of order, yeah, it's offensive to me. But guess what? You also offended the Lord. So if you really care about the Most High God, you believe in the God of this Bible, then you're going to have to learn how to correct yourself and get in order. And these precepts was left to help people do that. The same way we can go to a bunch of precepts to show how brothers is doing wrong, how brothers is fighting and killing each other. We can pull all the precepts out and show, hey, you need to stop doing this. You need to stop doing that. You can't be, damn, all that. Let me cut that part of the Bible out. I still want to kill niggas. Nah, you want to be in the truth, you're going to have to change. You can't keep selling drugs and be a man of the Lord. And women, you cannot do these things and be a sister in the truth. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. Got to work on it. Everything we got to work on, keep going. But like I said, man, the Lord, he going to tell you to sit down, shut the hell up. That's what the type of men he got. So all them sisters, they like them bad guys, he's going to do the same thing. And they got a whole bunch of gold teeth and got a key in the back of his trunk. Going to tell you, bitch, shut the fuck, sit your ass down.
Right.
And they like that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they don't want the man that's going to be, well, honey, well, if you just, I know you just slapped me, but please don't do it again. They're going to be like, what type of nigga is this? If I can slap him, I know these niggas out here can slap him too. You see what I'm saying? So they getting caught up because there's no place, man. But Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua for the ISUBK, man. Because this is a place where a brother can still be strong, still hold on to his principles, his values, but also be righteous, man. The only thing is, like I said, that cat in the world, he gonna push your head back into that window too. So you can't have that in the truth, man. Brother ain't gonna do that, man. Brother gonna have to get in order and get on point too. You know what I mean? And remove himself from that situation. All right. But let's go to where we at. Read verse 23.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 23.
5 and 23. Yep.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
Keep going.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
So that's the one thing too. Like, to get a man in order, women have to understand that they cannot do it. A man needs a stronger or a man to show him how to be in order in line. You can't argue and yell and nag and discipline your husband. But guess what? You can take him to counsel, and the men that's above him are going to say, okay, who's right or who's wrong. If he's truly wrong, it's righteousness and balance in the UPK. Don't think the generals is going to side with the brothers, because every class you see we going hard on the sisters. They feel like, that the general going to side with the brothers every time. Nah, matter of fact, there's a brother that just left the school. He was a goddamn coward. And we could tell who was right or was wrong, but he left and was complaining that, the school sided with my rib over me. Yeah, and you left too, so we know she was right. You a goddamn coward, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's saying that just like we have to submit to the church, it's like we have to obey orders from the men that are above us. Why would you think you don't have to listen to anyone? What's the age-old one? They say, you ain't my daddy. You ain't my daddy. My daddy died 10 years ago. I ain't got to listen to no nigga. So you the only person on earth. The children got to listen to somebody. The men got to listen to somebody. You go to work, you got to listen to somebody. But in your relationship at home, it's an equal playing field. Ain't no body in charge. You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. No, it's not conducive to having a family structure. What are we going to do when an emergency happens? Who is going to follow who? We're going to be like, well, today the Calais is in charge. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to listen to Calais. It's an equal opportunity. Do you think we should run, or should we let the person break in the house and kill everybody? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it don't work that. The Lord put an order in everything. All right. Let's drop that. Let's go to Judges chapter 14, verse 2. Try to run through these precepts. I know I usually get along with them, try to get through as many as possible.
Slide 14:2.
Con.
The book of Judges, chapter 14, verse 2. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines.
Right.
Now therefore get her for me to wife.
Right. So this is talking about the judge named Samson. Everybody's heard that story about Samson. Samson was a strong brother, had power, but he wanted to get this heathen woman and marry her. He told his family to get her and get her as a wife for him. Keep reading.
Verse 3. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well.
So Samson would be like the perfect example of a strong brother that's in the world, masculine, that's gang banging or drug dealing, something like that. It's like the brother is strong. He has these attributes that allow him to do these things. He'll go ride out and kill 100 enemies with no fear, no care of the consequences. He could die today, or he can go to prison for the next 100 years. He don't care about that. But what's his weakness is a woman. This is the thing that catches him up. You see what I'm saying? So drop down to, let's go to Judges chapter 16.
The book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 1. Then when Samson...
Go to verse 5, Slaki.
The book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 5. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver.
Right, so they tried to bribe this sister with money in order to get her to sell out her man, because he was giving these heathens hell. He was coming through, tearing them up, putting them to death, thousands of men to death, hundreds of men to death, and they didn't know how to stop him. So they figured if we can bribe his woman, she can get to him and tear him down, right? Let's go to, let's keep reading.
Verse 6. And Delilah said unto Samson, Tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee.
All right, drop down to verse 15.
The book of Judges. The book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 15. And she said unto him, How canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me with these Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth.
Right, keep going.
And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death.
Right, so she tried to pull a love card. She said, how can you love me and you not tell me what's going on? How you love me and not tell me who was that on the phone with you? You over here, like I said, I'm going to keep applying him to this nigga in the world. You over here making deals with the damn plug and shit. It's like it. And she trying to figure out who you talking to, thinking you cheating. You doing some whole other things, you know what I mean? But she trying to finesse you. Well, just tell me where you going. All right, I want to ride with you. You about to go do a mission. She didn't finesse her way using this love talk and convincing you how to become weak to her for this box. You know what I mean? All right, keep going.
Verse 17. That he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
Right. Keep going.
And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath shewed me all his heart. And the lords of the Philistines came upon Slakia. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hands.
Right. So they paid her out. She backdoored him, set him up. We know the story. They ended up cutting his hair off. He became weak. They was able to capture him, you know what I mean, and put him away. He ended up, getting a little bit of revenge at the end, but he ended up dying as well. They took his eyes out. All these things happened. So why did the Lord leave these stories in the Bible? We're going to show a couple more where cats were being weak, right? But the Lord left these stories to show the men that want to follow the Most High, we cannot be like this. All right? Cannot let someone allow you to compromise what's right for a sister, for a woman. And at the end of the day, a woman will respect you more for that than for you being weak to her. And so we all know this because a lot of sisters, I'm not saying, the sisters in UPK is amazing. We talking about these sisters in the world that's lost and acting that way, man. But a lot of women will say things they've learned or heard from this culture, and then they don't even believe it themselves. But they believe it because it sounds right, because everybody else is saying it. Like a woman will say, oh, I want to, these new modern, whatever they say all the time. I want a man that's sensitive. I want a man that's not afraid to cry and hold everything in. You get to crying around her in front of her. Next thing you know, when you leave, she's going to be on the phone with her homegirl talking about, can you believe this bitch ass nigga was over here crying and boo-hooing in front of me? This nigga is soft. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're going to say things that they want in their mind, but they really don't believe in their spirit. And they don't even know until you tell them. Like, same thing with children. Not saying that women are children, but using the example. You could tell your kid, no more ice cream. You done ate a half a pint of ice cream. They're going to want more. You guys, no, ain't no more ice cream. Sit your butt down. They're going to be like, oh, okay. They think, you know what I'm saying? It's all bad, but they don't want another pint of ice cream. Because when they sick and throwing up or their teeth falling out, they realize that they didn't want that. You see what I'm saying? So the precept on that is somebody can find, matter of fact, I'll find it. Let's drop that. Let's go to Luke chapter 19 and verse 21. We'll find this precept. Luke chapter 19, verse 21.
The book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 21. For I feared thee, because thou art a sure man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest what thou didn't sow.
Right. So this is a parable. It's talking about Christ and the brother that was given the opportunity to make something happen. He didn't do it, and he gave an excuse in the parable, and he said that he feared him because he knew he was an austere man. What is an austere man? What does austere mean? Go ahead.
Is it like an upright man, like a right man?
La. You right?
More like powerful, more like stocky.
La. Austere is any sister want to take a shot at it? You ever heard this word before? You looked it up? Go ahead.
Maybe someone that is
La. So this is Christ talking, and he's saying the man feared him. They feared Christ because they knew he was this type of person. Go ahead, Jake.
So what it says is an act of scooping. I might have the
No, yeah, I think you got the wrong. I got it right here. Yeah, it's Austere. So austere, severe or strict in manner, attitude or appearance, stern, harsh, unfeeling, stony. Like Christ was an austere man. He didn't have no feelings. He was stern. He was strict. He told you to do this. If you don't do it, it's all bad. And so the brother was saying in the example, like, I feared you because I knew how of a strict person you are. But really, that was an excuse, because if you knew how strict I was, then you should have done what the hell I told you to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Drop down to verse 20. Where we at? 27.
The book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me.
Right. So you seeing the same thing. This is the real Yahweh Shai Mashiach. It's not that Jesus you hear in the Christian church. You come hold hands and bring all the children and sit them on my lap. Christ is talking about bring these cats in front of me and slay them before me, mine enemies. Same thing. This sounds like a verse out of Tupac.
Right.
Tupacalypse now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring my enemies here, slay them, kill them niggas. Like that's Christ. That's how he was rolling. That's the type of men he was rolling with. You know what I mean? You go into other precepts. Christ said he didn't matter of fact, give me that one. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. You know what I mean? And that's what's so evil about America, man. This rap music, the movies, the culture. They've only given you this one option because they know a lot of us don't want to be soldiers in the military, don't want to listen to your oppressor and join his police force. So all the brothers are supposed to be real soldiers in the Lord's army get swept up in watching these Scarface movies, and they think that's how they can become a soldier. They listen to rap music and think that's how you become a gangster. That's what being a man is. The masculinity part of it is righteous, but what they're doing with it is evil. And we but Christ was one of them cats too, man. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 4.
34.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right. Christ didn't come to bring peace. He came to bring a sword. We're going to see that in these last days when Yahushua comes back, cracks that sky, man, 200 million angels. He's not coming to hand out lollipops, as my brother Tazabah say, or dandelions. He's coming out for bloodshed. And so that takes a certain type of man. You see what I mean? And when you've been told your whole life that these cats in the suit and ties and they doing all this, going to the church singing in the choir, you thinking that's a good man, that's a righteous man. That's not true. You know what I mean? And so we just got to be waking up to seeing that this is an important thing that's being done in the UPK, because there's no place else that this is being done. There's no other home for these cats that are strong in the streets to come and learn how to use it in the right way. There's no place for the people that are weak in the world to come and learn how to become strong in the right way. Matter of fact, I remember General Hazayan had a story about a cat that was, when he was in the police force, you know, General Haz used to be in the police. He said the dude was not a street dude. He didn't deal nothing with the streets, but his woman kept nagging him and berating him and saying, "You broke nigga, you ain't got no job, you ain't this, you ain't that." And he went out to go and try to do a robbery. And, you know, when General Hines had pulled up on him and had to arrest him, he said, to take the bullets out the gun. The bullets was in there backwards. The cat didn't even know how to put the bullets in the gun. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. The only way he thought he could become a man was to go and do something wrong, and he ended up getting. You know what I mean? I don't know if General Haas. I think he said he went to court to help get that brother off, man. Let him know, like, nah, this dude, y'all need to give him low charges or let him go or something like that, because he really wasn't even trying to be out here like that. But we also know Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. You don't got to get it, but just paraphrase: the Lord is a man of war. That's the type of spirit that the Lord has as a soldier. It's a man that's ready to fight for what he believes in, what he loves, what he cares about, right? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. A few more. We'll try to run through these. Yeah. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers not be hindered.
Right. So, read it again from the top.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, and your prayers be not hindered.
Right. So, once again, this is the things that those brothers don't have. They don't know how to dwell with a woman, dwell with a sister, have this balance of being strong, but still having compassion and mercy. You know what I mean? Just like Christ our King. He was austere, he was with the business, but he also gave brothers time to grow and change and become new. And so that's the things we have to learn as men in the truth, is to give sisters time to grow and learn. Like, you didn't come into the truth and brothers just wasn't, hey, nigga, where you going? What's in your pockets? You got a lighter in your pocket, nigga, you still smoking? You know what I'm saying? Where you live at? Let me see your room. You know what I mean? Like, brothers is giving you that time to grow and change. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't force a crown on anyone's head. You can't force anyone to obey the Lord. Everything we hear is for the Lord. When we say Most High in Christ. Now the Lord wants you to obey me. So if you're here for the Lord, you're gonna learn that and you're gonna work on that. You're gonna grow the same way. We have to go and fight our demons. But he's saying deal with them in that way. You can't check a sister the same way you check a brother. You know what I'm saying? Women, remember Jim Muhammad talking about that before. There's a certain way you can deal with a sister and explain things certain times. You know what I mean? And it always got to be right then in the moment. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can explain something, go away, come back. You know what I mean? Things like that. But overall, this is a balance in this truth, man. And the Lord set it up a certain way that in order for this thing to work, for our family to work, it's going to have to be order. It's going to have to be rules. And you out of order, you messing it up for everybody else. We didn't come too far to leave the ways of the world to bring in that BS into the truth, man. We got to leave something at the door. Can't be the same. Oh, always done it like that. Every time I bake a cake, I burn the bottom. Okay, you going to learn how to fix it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got a bad attitude. So if your breath stink, you ain't going to brush your teeth. Everybody got to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? No, we don't got to deal with it. You need to go wipe your ass. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not how a relationship works. Oh, I just always had an attitude. That's just how I've been. No, you got to grow up, daughter, sister. You understand what I'm saying? We can't come in the truth with that. Brothers can't do it. Sisters can't do it. Children can't do it. The men above us can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's once you stop growing, you start dying. Once you stop trying to be better or increase, then you're regressing. You're going backwards. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to. There's no age limit on learning. You quote to this brother's father could come on my. He said, ISUBK is the only school that you register in and you never graduate from. You can go into elementary, middle school, high school, college. You graduate, you're done with it. This one, you don't graduate. General Mayakala is 12 Shield General. He's third in command in the Command General. He still comes to scripture breakdown and follows and takes notes and listens to General Mahyman every week. So how he been in the truth for 30 years and still going to class, but you are too good to come to class to learn, to keep growing. You know what I'm saying? Don't make no sense. All right. Let's go to last couple things. 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 19. And I did not bring in my book. I left it in the car, but I'll just go ahead and explain a few things from my memory from it. But yeah, so one of the vicious cycles that we have is that sisters will deal with what you need, the precept?
Yeah.
Okay, First Kings chapter 18 and verse 19. How we getting on this cycle is a lot of times the women that will be young, they deal with this cat. He in the world, he messing up. They was attracted to him for these strong things, but then he ended up doing a whole lot of evil towards her. And they grow up and they've had all these bad examples of what a man is. And so when they have a son, they raise their son up. If they see any of those characteristics in him, they try to push them out of him and emasculate him and don't want him to be like his father because they have those bad examples. And so what he does, he grows up, he becomes bitter, he gets mad at women, and then he begins to do those same things towards women and mistreat women. And the cycle starts all over again, man. We got to come in here and break that cycle and learn how to be strong, austere, but at the same time, be righteous in our leadership. You know what I mean? All right, so this is another brother right here in 1 Kings. This cat, man, he was a bitch. There's no other way to say it. This nigga was tripping, man. Behind the box, heathen box at that. Go ahead, 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 19.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 19. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of Grove 400, which eat at Jezebel's table.
Which eat where?
At Jezebel's table.
Right, so we're gonna go and talk about Jezebel. Everybody heard this name before. The Christians love talking about a woman got a Jezebel spirit when they talk about themselves. How them little quotes on Facebook, they be like, man, niggas always want to come over and drink all the juice in your house. And that's me. Niggas is me. I'm niggas. Because I'm the nigga that likes to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the women in the church always talking about Jezebel spirit. When that's them, they the one that have it. They try to diagnose and call her that when they should really be looking at themselves in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? But this is the story when you go to find out who and what Jezebel was really doing. She was sitting and eating at the table with these prophets of Baal. Baal was the god of her people. Drop down to 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 1.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 1. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done. And with all...
Matter of fact, Salaki. Damn, where is the precept I'm looking for? It basically explains, I can paraphrase it right now, but it explains how he married Jezebel, how he met her and how he dealt with her. She was Salaki. All right, I'm just going to explain it for time's sake. basically, before we get into 19, Jezebel was the daughter of a heathen king. We had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom had split up. And in the northern kingdom, there was a man named Omri. His son was named, I believe it was Asa. And Asa was trying to make deals with these heathens in the land of Zidon. And he ended up marrying her daughter. And the god of the people in Zidon was Baal. And so this is why the prophets of Baal, when Elijah was testing them and going against them and fighting them, because they said that their God was right, and they ended up getting killed by Elijah. Elijah brought them to the brook of Kison and had them their heads chopped off 800 prophets. Y'all familiar with that story? A little bit. You're all right. All right, so we ain't gonna go into it. But after she heard about this is what she said. So read verse 19 and 1.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 19, verse 1. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time.
All right, so what is she saying right here? Go ahead, Uriah.
She's pregnant, his brother.
Yeah.
She's trying to kill you, but it's not involved.
Right. She said, if the Lord don't kill me, like you killed those prophets, or came out the sky and killed those prophets, the Lord killed them, and I'm killing you tomorrow. It's on sight. Like, she's sending threats to this cat because he offended her God. He got in the way of her God. And one of the gods that goes along with Baal was Asherah. You can find that in your Bible dictionary. Asherah was a goddess, and that was like the wife of Baal. And she was like a fertility goddess. And she, they said they did lewd acts worshiping her. So they was having orgies and all these things to worship this goddess. And when you get further into the New Testament, the Greeks call her Diana. So it's the same thing. You look up Diana in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it says that they just changed the name of the god of the people of these heathens. These were some Africans that were, that's what Jezebel was. She was a Hamite, right? And so now Diana became the Virgin Mary to this day. So that's where they get all these things that we fight against in the truth. The same gods as the same people that they brought back today. Like Zeus, his symbol was the lightning bolt. You go and look up statues of Baal, he's got a lightning bolt in his hand. So all these heathens just took other guys and remixed them and changed the name and made them represent their own culture. But spiritually, we've been fighting the same fight since those days. And now today, the Christian church, the sisters is worshiping Baal, man. To this day, they going into there and worshiping Baal, worshiping Asherah, worshiping Diana. And a lot of brothers, they wonder why we go so hard on the Christian church is because they produce such monsters. The whole, like, it's like break a nigga 101. That's what the Christian church is. Demean and demoralize a man 101. And a lot of cats, they have it backwards. Like if you told a brother, hey, it's a sister over here, man, she does voodoo, she be cutting chickens, she be doing all that, you'd be like, hell no, I don't want to deal with her. You can tear up my number. Don't give that to her. Don't text her my number. I want to deal with a woman that's doing Santeria and a witchcraft and all that. But you would think this sister in the Christian church is solid.
Right.
When in reality, man, she's worse than all of that, man.
Right.
Because they are in the worshiping of Baal and they making it seem right. Everything that the Lord hates, they make it seem right. And that's what's so dangerous. The same thing we were saying last week, like the coronavirus. It looks good. Like at least the one cutting chickens, it looks bad from the outside. You're like, yeah, I can see that coming. But this one over here, she got the hat, the knife, she's going to church, she got the college education degree. Like nothing more dangerous than a quiet hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like Benjamin Hunter said, man, you can have a sister that's got the degree, speak good English, driving the Benz. She living in the building. She got 3 niggas in the same building for 20 years. They don't know about each other. You know what I'm saying? Like them type of women is what the Christian church produces. But in order for us to fight against these things, we have to see the men that went weak and fail. And this brother right here was weak behind her. What he should have told her when they got news of what happened with Elijah, he should have told her, damn you, damn your God. We going back and worshiping the God of my forefathers. We getting back under these laws, statutes, and commandments. We tearing down all these altars and all these other things that you got going on and put her in place. We're not going to follow behind your God. You're going to follow behind me and my God, if anything. Right. And that's how we have to stand on that. Where's that precept at? So, lock it. Let me see. All right. And that's what brothers got to know. I think it's a light thing. Go back to verse 6, chapter 16. This is what I was looking for. Chapter 16, verse 29 in 1 Kings.
Chapter 16. Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 16, verse 9. And his servant.
Verse 29.
Oh, slacking. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 16, verse 29. And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Ahab, the son of Omri, to reign over Israel.
So that's the northern kingdom, right? So Asa was the king over Judah in the southern kingdom, and Ahab, the son of Omri, began to reign over Israel in the northern kingdom. Keep going.
Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. And Ahab, the son of Omri, did evil in the sight of the Lord above all that were before him.
Right. So that's another thing. Like he's doing evil in the sight of the Lord. Even in the truth, the Lord's eyes are on all of us in the truth. He's watching all the brothers. He's watching all the sisters. Like you can't do evil and think that you can just get away with it. You see what I mean? The Lord is watching how you come into class, how you study, how your thoughts about another brother. The Lord is watching how you willing to stand on this truth against your woman. You see what I'm saying? This brother right here wasn't willing to stand on what the Lord wanted him to do. He did evil in the sight of the Lord as if the Lord didn't see it. You know what I mean? That's a very important thing. Keep going.
Verse 31. And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat.
Right, so he acting like it's a light thing. Like you see what the Lord did to Jeroboam. Jeroboam got put to death. He think it's a light thing. You really playing with the Lord. That's what the Bible's saying right here. You thinking niggas sweet out here. You thinking Yahweh is sweet out here. All right, you think it's a light thing, my nigga. You think you can do the same thing this cat did. You see what happened to him. And you think you're going to prosper in that? All right, for sure. Let's go. Let's see what's going to happen with you. Keep going.
Verse 31. And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him.
Right. So we still fighting Baal today. We still dealing with Baal to this day. And the same people that was fighting to worship him back then is the same cowards to this day that want us to worship him now. And like I said, Baal, you go and learn about Asherah, you learn about Diana, you learn about all these different goddesses that these women were following, that they want the man to follow their God so he can serve underneath her. You see what I mean? Like, if he's following the gods of the Zidonians, and he's following behind his woman, who's really running the nation? Jezebel was. You know what I mean? But we can't stand for that, man. So brothers got to stand strong, stand firm in the eyes and the sight of the Lord, and do what needs to be done, and don't worry about the consequences of what a sister can do or a woman can do. Worry about what the Lord can do. You know what I mean? God forbid these sisters taking brothers' kids. These sisters out here putting niggas on child support, doing this, doing that. All right, man. That shit is that stuff is a horrible thing to deal with. But you're gonna have to suffer through that and keep pushing because I'd rather be in a bad position with her than be in a bad position with the Lord. Right? All right, so let's go to the last one. We're gonna go into the Apocrypha argument. First Ezra chapter 4, verse 13. We'll close it out on this one.
The book of First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 13. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them, Are they not women?
Right. So this was a king. You know, there's a lot of different stories in the Bible where kings, they ask for someone to come advise them and give them advice. And so he said, whoever gives me the best answer, I want to raise them up and give them some honor. What is the strongest thing on earth? And one of them said that the strongest thing was wine. That drinking alcohol is the strongest thing, how it influences people. It can make men happy. It can make men do this. It can make men do that, etc. The next dude stepped up and said the strongest thing is the king, because the king can order men to go kill. He can order men to go and take this gold and work for him, build up his nation. Everyone obeys the king in the land. And the last man, Zerubbabel, he stepped up and said, the strongest thing on earth is a woman, man. Nothing is stronger than a woman on earth and the truth. So let's go ahead and get to this breakdown. Verse 15.
The book of First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 15. Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Right.
So that's what thing you hear all the time in the world. You wouldn't be nowhere if it wasn't for your mama. The woman birthed everybody. So I guess we should start worshiping women now. You know what I'm saying? The black woman is God. Y'all hear those arguments? That's what the cats are saying. But it is true. Women are powerful for that thing, man. All life has to come through a woman. And that's something honorable and great. And that is a very powerful position that women have in the earth, right?
Verse 16. Even of them came they, and they nourished them that they planted in the vineyards, from whence the wine cometh.
So the strong thing, you talking about wine is strong. Well, where did the wine come from? Had to come from the men that grew the grapes, and the men came from the woman. So the woman is superseding the wine that you're talking about. So he's trying to go and cut his opponents. Keep going.
Verse 17. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Keep going.
Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty? Right, like the men that go and get gold and silver, the reason why they're going out and working is to bring it back to the women, or you know what I'm saying, to get more women. You don't. Okay, it's cool to have a Lamborghini, but the cats that spend their whole time trying to get a Lambo is really to get women in the Lambo. I mean, we can drive fast all day, but if the earth didn't have women, I don't think niggas would even care about Lamborghinis. They would be too busy trying to kill each other. The whole world would be just niggas trying to kill each other because they're angry, because ain't no women here. You know what I mean? So a sister is a very important thing. And, you know, the earth is a beautiful place. We got
beaches and goddamn Bahamas, mountains, snowscapes. All those things are beautiful and glorious, but I would give up all those vacation spots to be with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they say it's just desert out here, but we got women. All right, cool. They say it's all the beaches in the world, but no women. I'm cool. I don't want to be in that world. Take me to another planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are very important to this earth and to this world. You know, keep going.
Verse 19. And letting all those things go, do they not gape? And even with open mouth, fix their eyes fast on her? And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever?
Right, saying the same thing. Like, you can go look at a beach and be like, damn, this is beautiful. But a beautiful woman walk by, you like, yeah, forget this. You know what I'm saying? Like, gold and silver, right? You have all the chains on, whatever. That is not that glorious, you know what I'm saying, as to what a woman is, you know what I mean? And so that's why a sister coming in the truth and being righteous is an amazing thing as well, man. And that's what we got to clap it up for the sisters in the UPK, man. Because just like the Bible says, he will make a man more precious than fine gold and Ophir. Sisters is valuable, just as valuable too, man. It goes both ways. But something that's so powerful, if following after another God, can be just that powerful for evil, can be just that powerful to try to break down what the Lord wants to build up. And that's why we're going to keep going. I'm going to let it explain itself. What?
Verse 21. He sticketh not to spend his life.
I think you skipped one.
Wife.
Go to verse 20.
Oh, Salakia, sir. Verse 20. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife.
Like, you're going to leave your mom, you're going to leave your dad. You're not going to spend time with them. When you're a kid, you're going to be with them every day. When you get grown, you're going to be with your wife, your family. That's who you're going to be with. All right, keep going.
21. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father, nor mother, nor country.
Right.
22. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword, and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth in darkness.
Right.
And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, if women can get a man to do evil because of the power they have, how much more can you build up a brother to do something righteous? You see what I'm saying? It's not, the power isn't in being strong and being masculine. That's not how you're going to win over a man. You can win over a man and get damn near anything you want on how you deliver it and how you say it, and using that femininity. Jim Muhammad saying like, I don't know what sisters be, they let their emotions control how they try to get what they want, and they become overbearing. Man, you ain't cleaned up this, you ain't do that, you keep leaving this here. That's not gonna get a man to move.
Right.
But how you come with that sweetness, that soft, that gentleness, and the way you deliver it, you get this nigga damn near doing anything you want. You see what I mean? But you are letting Satan get everyone destroyed. Now he mad and you mad. You're not getting what you want, and he not doing what you want. He don't get what he want. You see what I'm saying? Like, no one's getting anything because the communication is horrible. You know what I mean? But if everyone got in line in their order, you let those barriers we have down, you could see how much power the women really have, and this is in the Bible. Keep going.
Verse 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes.
Right. So some cats have become weak. They become servants for their sakes. There's brothers in the penitentiary right now following after behind a woman and killed over some bots. This is what we cannot do. You see what I'm saying? This is not what the Lord wants. Keep going.
Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
Have done what?
Have perished, have erred, and have sinned for women.
Some niggas is dead. Some niggas have done wrong and sinned for women. Keep going.
And now do ye not believe me? Is it not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him?
Right. So they talking about the other dude said the king was the most powerful thing in earth. He was like, yeah, you're right. The king has power in earth. Everyone in all the earth will obey him and listen to what he says and follows his orders. Verse 29.
Yet did I see him, and Apame,
Yeah.
Yet did I see him, and Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admiral Bartachus, sitting at the right hand of the king.
Right. I seen the king who's supposed to be the strongest nigga on earth, and he's sitting here with his concubine. And what happened? Keep going.
And taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head.
She came up to him, take the crown off of his head, put it on her head. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
She also struck the king with her left hand.
She slapped this nigga in front of everybody. This woman came up and did this to the king. So he like, how you gonna tell me the king is the strongest on earth when I seen the king get slapped by this woman? Keep going.
And yet, for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, and she might be reconciled to him again.
Who is this? Somebody blow my mind and tell me who is this verse talking about. I read it one more time, and we're gonna see, man, who can guess who this is right now. Let me read it one more time.
31.
Let's see if somebody is. Go ahead.
And yet, for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth.
She done took his crown, slapped him. He just, keep going.
If she laughed upon him, he laughed also.
Go
But
ahead.
if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, and she might be reconciled to him again.
So if she laughed, he laughing. She mad, he like, oh, well, what do you need? What's going on? How do I fix it? You see what I'm saying? And that she might be dealing with him again. So who is this? Go ahead.
A woman of the world, or they're both really in the world.
I'm talking about a real life example that we've all seen recently. Who is this brother right here that is talking about in verse 31? Go ahead. Okay, let the young man go ahead.
I was gonna say he's a simp.
But I said a real life example. I want a name. I'm taking name. Go ahead.
Will Smith before.
Goddamn right, man. That is Will Smith. The brother is worth $300 million. He is a king in the earth. He could move to the middle of Timbuktu, build a whole entire city, have a house for every wife. One for you, one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you. Complete 360 degrees. Have all his kids playing in the middle, having food shipped in, cooks, servants, doing whatever, all the drink he want to drink. Will Smith could live just like that for the rest of his life until the day he dies. He is a king. You see what I'm saying? He got movies, music. Do y'all know the Get Jiggy with Diamond?
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest albums of all time. I didn't know that. They had the list of the greatest albums of all time. And this nigga had an album on there. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know he a top selling rapper of all time. You know what I mean? But he's acting like this. Read verse 31 one more time.
And yet, for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth.
She done had an entanglement with your son's friend, and all you can do is open your mouth and be, damn, let's do an interview about it. And the red table talk. Go ahead.
If she laughed upon him, he laughed also.
When Chris Rock made the joke, she started laughing. He was laughing. You know what I'm saying? He thought it was funny. Keep going.
But if she took any displeasure in him, the king was fain to flatter.
Right. He's like, oh, she's not laughing. Jada mad. We's mad. Massa? How that, you know what I'm saying? The house, we sick, Massa? Boss? You know what I'm saying? And he said, okay, she's not happy. What can I do to fix it? Go ahead.
that she might be reconciled to him again.
What's going to make her love me again? I'm about to go up here and slap Chris Rock in front of the nation. I'm going to disrespect my brother over her. You know what I'm saying? So she can love me again, man. To hell with all that. But that's showing you the power of a woman, man, that's not in the spirit, that's following Baal, that's worshiping Diana Asheroth, man. That's Jada Pinkett Smith. That's Jezebel. That's who she was. That's what was the other examples we got when Eve went off, or who else made a brother get out of pocket, man? Samson. That's Delilah. You know what I mean? Sisters like that or heathens like that. Women have done these things to great men. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
32. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus?
Right, like women get encouraged when they see things like that. Like we think brothers don't, well, especially if you're young, but if you ain't dealt with no women, you know what I'm saying, and haven't had the experience to understand that women got game. Y'all don't know that when you first meet a woman, she has game. And if you sitting there looking like Will Smith, oh, I like to cook, I love to clean, I love to submit to my man. They love to say all that. About 6 months, a year later, then all that's out the window because she gamed you up, dumb. You understand what I'm saying? You got to know that is what's coming. All these women is watching Jada and saying, God damn, if she can break a $300 million nigga like that, I know I can get Tyrell up the street for a Honda or a Civic. You know what I'm saying? The city girls is winning. That's how they're thinking. They're getting encouraged by seeing women that are out of pocket and wanting to be like them, not realizing what. Keep going. Verse 33.
The king and the princes looked one upon another, so he began to speak of the truth. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetches his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things?
Right. The Lord is the one that makes the heavens and the earth. The Lord is the one that puts everything on earth in its place and orchestrates how things are supposed to be. So is not the truth greater than everything else? Keep going.
35. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things? All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it no unrighteous thing.
Right, like now you got to think about the law, statutes, and commandments. The law is the truth, man. The Bible is the truth. The things that come out of this book are the truth, man. ISUBK is the home of the truth, man. The things that we speak, the earth trembles. How do we know this? They try to shut the Passover down because of the things that we speak are true.
That's right.
They tried to break Kanye West's whole $2 billion career because he said some things that sound like what the UPK teaches.
Right.
He didn't even say exactly what we teach. He just said some things similar. Kyrie Irving losing his endorsements. They trying to sit him on the bench because he put a movie up that says that black people are the true Israelites, man. The things that we're saying are so powerful, they rule the world with our book and use a little bit of the truth to dominate the world. We have the whole truth. There's no reason why we shouldn't gain the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
37. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish.
Verse 38.
As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
Right. So, but the truth, all those things, wicked women, wicked men, the wine, all those things that they're trying to use the example as the strongest thing on earth, those things will perish. Those things will fall apart. Jada Pinkett hair gonna fall out her scalp. She gonna end up losing her money and whatever. The Lord's gonna deal with her how He deals with her. But the truth is going to last forever. These things that we teach, they cannot be stopped. You know what I'm saying? We're reading this book from 2,000, 4,000 years ago, and it still has power in the earth, man. Jada Pinkett can control Will Smith, but she can't control the men in ISUPK, man. And that's what. Damn right. And that's why this book is so powerful. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible is saying that if it wasn't for this book, girls would run the world. Brother, I be getting mad sometimes. Girls run the world. I don't know if is that a Beyonce song? I hate that song. You know what I'm saying? Girls run the world, and they got the girl magic shirts and everything. Girl power. They always trying to pump women up. And you like, that's a goddamn lie. But the Bible actually, yeah, they on point. Girls do run the world. They don't run this world, man.
That's right.
They run that world out there, man. They can run the world of the heathens. They can run the world of Baal. They can run the world of Asheroth and Diana and the Virgin Mary and white Jesus, white baby Jesus, Buddha. You can run that world, but you're not going to run the world of the Hebrew Israelites, man. Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that had this Bible, know the law, statutes, and commandments. Yep, you listen to the class. You're not listening the right way. You better sit down. It's actually on point. It's the wild. But yeah, man, that's what it's saying. Read it again one more time.
As for the truth, it endureth.
Go to verse 37 one more time. So like it.
Verse 37. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked.
Jada Pinkett is what?
Wicked.
Ooh, keep going.
All the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them in their unrighteousness. Also, they shall perish.
Right. So bringing it all back before we close out the class. You got women in the world. They doing this thing. They like men that are like this. There's some positive things of their character. There's some positive things that are men that they call good men. But really, in order to find a good man, you have to find a brother in the truth, man.
That's right.
That's what you're gonna have to find. Somebody that's following the laws, obeying the laws. That's what's gonna lead you right. And sisters, you know what I'm saying, should honor that and respect that and cherish that. You may not be with $1 million nigga that's got all these trips and purses for $50,000 and doing all these things that everybody has that they glorify. Them women is in them $1 million homes angry.
Right.
Jada Pinkett is destroyed. How the hell she got a $300 million nigga and she's not happy? She's an angry little monster demon. She acts peaceful. It sounds nice. Oh, we got to be, manifest your destiny and meditate and take shroom. She is angry. And you can tell she's angry because the nigga that just won an award, about to win an award, $300 million and gone on camera and slapped the nigga in his anger. It's about keep my wife's name out your mouth. The nigga should have told August Alsina to keep his rod out her goddamn mouth.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? But you know, she should have told her to keep his rod out of her mouth. So like it. You understand what I'm saying? But keep going. We'll close it at this.
38. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
So that's how you build up men, man. That's how you really get men to be strong. Get them to be disciplined. Get them to be what it is to be a man is the truth. And that comes with men following men. You can't break a man and build him up to be what you want him to be. You can't change this nigga. Y'all think, oh, I'm going to change him. He going to lead the streets for me. No, you're not. He's about to leave you with a black eye and go back with another girl and keep going selling drugs. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. If you want him to change, you're going to have to try to be the best you can be and make him want to come into the truth. That's in the Bible as well.
Right.
A man can be won by the words and character of a woman if he's not in the truth. You know what I'm saying? She can lead you to the truth. And that's happened in the school. Sister came into school. Her husband was mad. What the hell is wrong with you with all these men? You calling, getting counsel. But she kept being honorable and respectful and being better. He's like, damn, what are y'all teaching her? Because she treated me better now than before. And he's like, I got to check y'all out. Now he's an officer in the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? So that shows the power of a woman and their righteousness. And that shows the power of a man, you know what I'm saying, that follows the Lord. So with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Uraga while we just do a courtesy salute. All right.
Man Israel, a model, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we want to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, a model Shabbat, a model Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatuh.
Yashamatah, sword, which means turn. We're going to face his sisters. Sisters, a model, which means to stand.
Collect. Like this.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, a Michael Shabbat, a mother, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Atam B'Shem Yahshua.
Yashamatah,